Alright folks, we're back with another video. This time we're back on the 68 F100 and we're going to do a little fine tuning and clean it up and start getting it where we can drive it every day. So y'all hang in there and let's see what happens. Alright, like I said, back on this one, and we've got some stuff to get done. We've got to do an oil change. Let's see, got all kinds of stuff. Got some tune up in a bottle, and this little thing right here, that is for the power steering pump. And let me tell you how hard it is to find one of them things right now. Ridiculous. It's worse than hen's teeth. Let's see. Got some power steering fluid. Clean the battery terminals. There's another can of tune-up. And this is one thing I like using. This stuff's been around forever, and it actually does work. It does seem to help. So they make it for 8, 6, and 4 cylinders, and you just pour that in your oil. And air cleaner stud kit. So let's go over here and alright. Okay, so yeah, it ain't changed much since last time you seen it, but we're going to clean up a lot and get this thing dialed in a little more. I noticed I had to move it the other day, and I let it sit and run a little while, and I don't know if a lifter is collapsing and building back up, or if we've got rocker arm problems. So we'll address that. It's definitely on the passenger side, but it comes and goes. So we'll check that out. You can see right there, there's our problem. It had a dipstick, but it got gone. So like I said, terrible time trying to find one of them things. I did notice brakes are a little nyeh there last time we drove it, so we'll address that and we'll just get into it and do what we can and make it more gooder. Alright, let's get this valve cover off here. Oh, hey, that works. Go up here. Oh, I hope this gasket don't rip. Okay. Well, it ain't terrible. The gasket held. Alright. Now, that ain't. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and check them. Go ahead and tighten them up, because that's the thing with the stock rockers. There's no adjustment in them. You just tighten them down and there you go. So okay. All right. Okay. All right. All right. All right. Okay. All right, they're all tight. So more than likely, we've got a lifter that's I guess breaking down and building back up. So, well, at least that's one thing off the list, and we know that it's unfortunately it's something more internal, but maybe we'll put enough salve in it to make up the difference. So let's move on to something else. Now let's get this dipstick put in here. The other day when I moved it, I went ahead and put power steering fluid in it. I don't know how much I put in it, so we'll see where it's at. Yeah, it's not even touching, so it definitely needs some more. Okay. Oh, easy. Let's see what that looks like. Okay. Looks like it might be over full. No. I'm gonna leave it right there. We'll check it when it's hot. So, but at least I got me a cap now. I'm happy. One thing I'm gonna do is spray these hinges down. Help them things. Make them things a little easier. Okay. Hopefully that'll make that more pleasant. Let's see. Oh yeah. That's the way. That's a time right there. Oh yeah. That'll work. Cannot beat that stuff right there. Alright, let's check brake fluid. Go. It ain't got much. Yeah, it ain't got much at all. Or put some in. Pour a little in there. That's probably way too much. Pour some in there. Yeah, a little more. Right there. All right. Now, put that back on. Whoa, easy. There we go. Well, it leaked a little out. All right, now I had forgot that I can't remember if it's all two-wheel drives or if it was just something they done in the bump sides. I think it's two-wheel drives, but the drain plug is right on top of the cross member down there. So all the oil is going to run on the cross member and it's going to be a mess. So I got to get this put up on ramps to try to help the angle where it'll go back where I want it. So have to do that, and you can't put a socket on it because where it's at, and I'll show you in a little bit, but you got to use a regular opener box end wrench. So we'll do that. And as far as the oil filter, I've got something in mind. We're going to try it. I've seen some people talk about it, so we'll see if it works. But yeah, next thing is get the oil drained, get all that done, and then we can start doing some other stuff. All right, now you can see what I was talking about. Drain plug right on top of the cross member, and it's a 7/8. It's like a 7/8 wrench. So hopefully we'll get the oil to, I've got it up on ramps. Hopefully we'll get it to drain in here without making a terrible mess. So let's see what happens. Okay, you can see how much of a mess this is. I mean, it's just terrible. That's a terrible design, but it's draining, plug didn't strip, so we should be good. We'll get the filter changed and get back up top. All right, here's our choice of filters. Of course, right here, Motorcraft FL1A, one that's been on all Ford motors for existence. Now this is the Wix 51335, and you can already see by the box, but these trucks, you can see how much of a pain it is to try to get a oil filter on these. So we're going to try going to this little short filter. Now I know people say, well, you don't have as much protection, it's not got as much material to catch stuff and everything, but realistically this truck will probably never get 3,000 miles on it for an oil change. It'll probably see 500 to maybe 1,000, and I'll end up changing oil once a year anyway, just cause that's good practice. So I'm gonna try this little filter and see what happens. May run it for 500 or 1,000 miles and take it off and cut it open, see what it looks like. But if you're wondering, I've done measured. The gasket here is the same size, threads are the same pitch, so it should be fine. So we'll see what happens. Well, right here's another reason why you don't buy Fram filters. Out of all the oil changes I've done, I've never took a filter off and the filter not be full of oil. What you see, the residue right here, is exactly what come out of it. And I don't know if you can't really see down in there, but I don't know if we've got a plugged oil galley in the motor or what it is, but I'm gonna put that little filter on and we'll probably check it in a few hundred miles and see what happens. So definitely not ideal, but We'll see what happens. You can see you got a whole lot more room down here now, but like I said, this is just an experiment. We'll see what happens. We may end up having to go back to the FL1As, but we'll just see what happens. What I'm gonna do is I'll pour about a quart of this in. We'll go with the 1540 diesel oil, and this being an older engine, it's a flat tappet, so this will help a lot with not wearing the cam out, and it'll give it all the vitamins and nutrients that an old engine like this needs. So oh, easy, don't do that. And now that we've got that in, we'll put our engine restore in and let this go to mixing with that little bit of oil. Now what we'll do, since this stuff's really thick, we'll take this and put it in the oil and mix it up. It'll make it a little easier to pour. Let that continue to drain. Always look underneath and make sure you ain't leaking nothing. Make sure you put the drain plug back in and all that stuff. Let's just go ahead and see if we're registering anything. Nope. That's good. And I'll tell you, if you can, I don't know if you'll be able to see it. Yeah, you can sort of see it. This old dipstick, it actually says add 2, add 1, and then safe up here. So that's pretty cool. I don't put that on the new ones anymore. Gotta shake this up. Help this. Alright. That should be sufficient. Alright. Oh. Now it should take all of it, but I've had bad experiences with overfilling your oil, so I always like checking it periodically. So okay, we need about 2.5 more quarts. And I think that's about what we're at over here. We're at 30. Okay, so it won't take all this. probably a quart and a half. I'm completely full. Now, usually I'll fill, not completely fill, but fill up the filter somewhat. I didn't do that this time. Just because that way, if I do happen to overfill it, well, the filter's going to suck up some of that. So then once it runs, shut it off, check it, and then we'll be okay. All right. We've got our oil filled up. We've got fuel in the tank. So I believe it's time to see if this thing's going to fire up again. And see if we've gained any more oil pressure and see how that little filter's going to do and just test everything out. So here we go. Untap. We've got 40 pounds of oil pressure right now, which that's what we had before. We'll see if it drops again. Hopefully there's enough. I thickened it up enough where it'll hold better oil pressure, but we'll see. See, it's holding 40 pounds right now, so we'll let it get warmed up and see what happens. I wonder if there's any. See if this thing's even got headlights. Oh yeah. Don't look like there's any leaks, so sounds really good. It's actually, I think it's quietened up a good bit on the valve train, so maybe that's doing something. We'll see. Alright, it's been idling probably at least 10 minutes and we're back down to about 20 pounds of oil pressure, so yeah, we're about 20 pounds, but I mean that's fine. That's fine for this old motor, but I sure would like it to stay up around 40. We'll just have to see what happens. Obviously, if it gets worse, we'll have to do something about that. But so far it's running fine. I've been monkeying with the carburetor a little bit, try to clean it up, because when you rev it up, it won't smoke. It was starting to puff a little smoke a little bit. So, which that's got cleared up, so just keep playing with it, see what happens. Alright, well, it's running pretty good. So, I think I'm gonna call it on this video. We've got the oil changed, done all that and everything. Tied up a few little loose ends. So I think next time you see this truck, we'll start getting the engine bay cleaned up and everything. Then we'll move to the interior, get it cleaned up, because we gotta get the carpet off that dash. That's ridiculous. And start start cleaning the bed out, because we've got to rebuild it before long. So appreciate y'all watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.